and we are recording. Yay. Um, deep honor and gratitude for Alexis Cash joining me today. Woo! For a 2024 collective reading. And I wish to just extend a welcome to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So grateful to be in kind of this interweaving of what messages we may receive from what tarot decks we arise, as well as sharing maybe some of our preparations and delight or interest in this craft. So I will pass this over to Alexis Cash. And what do you wish to share first off of how tarot divination has supported you, has assisted you, or the power of this practice?
First, hello. Tarot came to me in college, and I was gifted a deck by a friend who um, was an Aquarius and was already like there. And I started playing with it and immediately really took to it as a something I shocked me and shocked the people I was around giving these readings to, of friends, at parties, of how what I was sharing. And I didn't really take it very seriously. I still was like, this is not possible. And so it remained this like one doorway I had opened into a spiritual practice. And it remained that way for another 7 years. And then I had, I guess, what you would say, my dark night of the soul. And I began to kind of explore tarot a lot more. And it became a real, in some ways, a crutch, a real crutch. And in some ways, so supportive in helping me to navigate my day to day. Yes, I think tarot can be a wonderful way to begin to connect with the unseen, with your ancestors, especially if you feel disconnected. It can help you to begin to trust your intuition. It can, if you allow it to be playful, it can be that. But I absolutely still sometimes am like, there's still no way. And I'm always shocked by how clear and how honest it is. The magic of it is still very much real. Yeah, so I'm a naysayer that it's become a believer. That still sometimes is like, nah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that, because it's kind of it fluctuates as we fluctuate in
Yeah.
our healing and growth cycles. And there have been times for sure I so resonate with that of times that I stayed away for a good
Yeah.
period of time because I wasn't ready to digest more of the truths that might kind of come up
Yeah.
in my life from the cards. And then at other times it was the way, so to speak, to
Yeah.
for me to um, receive things that felt actually even beyond my intuition, like my own um, ways of receiving information from our clairs or things like that. It allowed me to, I love that you brought in the ancestors already, to start to receive teachings and
Yeah.
almost trainings from
Yeah.
some of my ancestry forgotten. Um, and and that can be a lot to digest at times.
Yeah.
So I'm uh, grateful that it's kind of an ongoing training, if that makes sense. For me, I
Yeah.
find whenever I step in to tarot and divination works, uh, it humbles any aspect of me thinking that I've learned it all, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
or have like a
Yeah.
complete understanding of it, because then there's something else that comes in that shares, okay, here's another thing to chew on.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited for this connection today, as well as, you know, there's the excitement of taking the leap and stepping into the void with you, and stepping into what our ancestors bring forward, what we're able to kind of support in connection, between, it's like between the two of us, but between, of course, all that we carry and all whom we walk with. um
Yeah.
but as well, kind of knowing that in that excitement there could be things that bring up response in us, or, you know, in
Yeah.
me, and seeing how we can best navigate that, navigate the volatility at times, I find, of these, of the messages. um I have received some placements, and so I'm excited that we kind of, just to share to those watching this far, that in kind of preparing for this, we stepped in, shared some ideas for placements of the cards, kind of prompts from spirit, and I will share those below as well. But what really resonated with both of us was a cards that could share preparations, because we're always kind of in preparations and integration periods while we're
Yeah.
moving through time.
Yeah.
And invocation, which I found is a very potent word, and we can see what arises with that. Reasons for being here in this time, as well
Yes.
as what
Yes.
what to, what to keep. It's very neat. Keep this alive, almost like what to
Yeah.
maintain in it living. and
Yeah.
and with that, are you nudged to share of any of the things that came through in preparations for this connection?
Yeah. When I kind of decided to meditate and see what was coming, and so much of the message felt very um kind of like, if you're gonna be about it, like,
Mm.
and do it. And yes, it is incredibly hard to maintain faith, even in the tarot that continues to show you again and again and again, you know, and this is happening, and you still decide to not believe at some point. You still decide to come in with your reservations. It's like, when will you decide to not only believe in your magic, if you believe in your magic, but to believe in your walk, believe in what you believe in your values, continue to pursue them? It's just, this is a time to continue forward. And like, this sense of courage, having courage before you step into spaces, feels very important. Yeah, I what you said, Josie, of like this this even this moment here feels so like a leap of faith, but there's trepidation. And that's all I keep feeling right now. Even when I'm, on Instagram looking at what people are sharing, everything feels like this leap, but I'm just also so like, God, what's been happening already, what is to come. And there's a need to continue forward into the unknown of it,
Mm.
trusting that pain is going to come, and more grief is going to come, and more joy is going to come, and more life is going to come. And it's like a time to accept it's all still going to keep happening. So make a choice,
Mm.
because you're not blind anymore. We're not blind, and you gotta you gotta choose.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
a deep message because there's just so much grief and there's so much pain right now. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like that's part of the message we're going to share that could be
Yes.
quite triggering.
Yes.
So I just say that out there, that to to the to sit with it slowly, the messages that come, and the feelings that can come up. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Um, I think that's one thing I'm very grateful about YouTube for is the power of pausing, stepping away, giving yourself time to digest things over time. Like you don't have to. It gives you a new way of moving through something that you are encouraged to listen to and
Yeah.
receive, without having to feel that, it's like back to that Clockwork Orange of like sitting and just like keeping your eyes
Hmm.
open, keeping your ears open, and just be like, listen until they bleed.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and with this power of choice, um, that you have invited in, I also share what I'm going to share is the power of protection that naturally
Yeah.
our listening, seeing faculties carry. That as much as we may almost kind of pressurize ourselves to listen, receive, be aware, that naturally, we'll kind of stop it. We'll stop the process if it's too much for us to bear, because
Yeah.
we all carry choice, but we will also all carry um, almost like multiple capacities of at this point in time, so to speak, and in that, just honoring choice, even if this is something
Yeah.
that someone needs, like that you will choose to review over seasons this year. That is okay. Not when we almost like step into the now. There's I'm feeling almost like the freneticness of that
Yeah.
command
Yeah.
of presence, of realizing that, like, that time is now. Yes, time is present, but in that presence, you get to choose kind of how to move through that in the additional ways, so to speak, that we move through times. And
Yeah. Can I say
for
something to that?
please, yes.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
that what you share of like time in the sense of now. This is just on a me what I see level that um 2020 really kind of, at least for some of us, brought us into an awareness that one time can feel like it's not passing. So like, some I still go, it's only been 2 years and it's been 4. And you're like, what? How much time has passed? How little? And that there's a need, this still sense of trying to move ahead that's happening within ourselves.
Mhm.
We're not going anywhere. And it's actually making us not go anywhere. And there's a real need for us to practice the really hard thing of like living. And that, like, yeah, like,
Mm.
I don't know how to better explain that, because that's very hard.
Mhm.
But the practice of life and being here in it is is enough, instead of the now being simply, I'm going to watch this video so I can change my tomorrow immediately, so I can change next week. And maybe this video is something, like you said, is something you chew on throughout the whole year, and it's the only video you decide to watch about this year to check in with you. It would be more than enough information that we've offered, and that you will yourself find and recollect and move on your own path with. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for bringing in the balm, the salve. Thank you for bringing that in. For as much as his, much with divination, we feel that in divination, we're just bringing in prediction, just bringing
Mhm.
in ways of predicting future occurrences, be it within one person, multiple people, collective. And as a seer, someone who does at times receive those um, times that have already been collectively agreed upon for something to occur on those certain times. Divination, I feel, is very much beyond solely just the idea of a prediction. It is a way for us to discover that we are continuously dependent on how we are moving and pacing ourselves through days, weeks, months, year, whichever way we wish to categorize our movements
Yeah.
in living. That whew, that we carry multiple choice points,
Yeah.
multiple consent points, and in those, sometimes we feel that individual choice might not support change or shift
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
larger level, and
Yeah.
it's like, but your choice, your magic, your
Yes.
gifts, every single individual person's
Yeah.
um, carries actually a lot within the harmonics, so to speak,
Yeah.
of the energetics of all,
Yeah.
and that is the wonder of these practices, is to, even those things that may feel like they've already been written, they've already
Mhm.
been agreed upon, agreements can shift,
Yeah.
contracts can be broken,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and and that's something that continues to remind me that as much as sometimes we feel it's like, oh, I'm just moving through shit and I'm just going to
Yeah.
have to experience it, I'm just going to have to deal with it, that it's like, right, I can at any moment in time, as much as I can say yes, I can also say no,
Yeah.
and that no carries some shifts in the symphony, the
Yeah.
symphony of all of our kind of collective agreements on these planes that we so traverse. So, woo, thank you for bringing that in. Um, and that is a continuous reminder. Uh, I just almost like feel like I need to etch that. I need to etch that somewhere to
Yeah.
continue to remind myself of that like
Yeah.
change doesn't have to be feeling like at a time there's always just a lot in life,
Yeah.
um, and that at any time we carry doorways, we carry access to
Yeah.
kind of open doors, closed doors, step through doorways to support shift from our, what we feel is like our own rhythm, to a, and knowing that even that gentle shift and step can support a different fibrillation or
Yeah.
defibrillation on a larger energetic plane.
Yeah.
May we traverse, may we traverse gently, and I will endeavor to do so as well.
Same, same, same. So hard.
Okay, so any other words prior to us in stepping into the void together, into the mystery?
No.
Awesome. Okay. Um, I will share some words. I welcome you as well, invoking how
Yeah.
you share some words at the beginning of tarot, and then we can see where we go from there.
Yeah.
Ooh, and I'm already feeling like, ah,
Yeah.
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 So enjoy some sacred liquids, loves that are listening. Honor if things need to be shared out in sound. who, as we step in, for as much as we may have planned, predicted, even and connected in how we are navigating this, there is deep reverence and honor that we as well are stepping into the unknown, in deep reverence to uh, what is within the sacred tool and the sacred craft. I give deep honor to all that is. I may I support message in a way that can assist more to listen in, whilst honoring the dances of shadows and light, as well as honoring my own ego and seeing how much I have, honoring how much capacity I have to share of truths that are beyond just my comprehension. I welcome in those whom I walk with, the ancients, the ancestors most beloved, the beings within and between planes that support my trainings and teachings. And welcoming in the intention of this being a support guide for 2024, for the collective, those whom have gathered to listen in. I will relay now over to Alexis for your sacred words.
Right in that which is most joyous and light and gentle within me, within you. Something that lifts the mind and opens the eyes, calms the body, softens the tone. I invite in gentle fluids and soft air and rock and earth and the mountains and the great sky and the sky beyond and the sky beyond and the stars. I invite in my honorable ancestors and team of spirit, my voice, my wisdom, my body, my mind, in harmony and love for you, for me, for us, for all, for I. I invite in those who do not wish to be named.
Mm.
I come to support, to protect. So be it, so it is.
Mm.
I think we should take a moment to travel together to a space. Maybe you find yourself beginning to walk down the path. Walking down a path. So safe you can look around. Walking down the path. Maybe you find there is a bridge and you can walk over the bridge. Continuing to walk down the path. Maybe you find you're now walking through trees, through brush, something, finding your way into an open space, a circular space,
Mm.
a space surrounded by trees. And you can take your place in the circle,
Mm.
standing or sitting or lying on the ground. And if it feels right, you may extend your hands out side to side to connect with those who have also come to the circle.
Mm.
And here we create a home for ourselves for this time. A home made of us. And if you like, you can invite in the grass below you, the ground below you, the earth below you to rise up, to hold you, to connect with you. And breathe. Into breath. The mind can be the most difficult to allow to let go. And always give permission. Mind, you can let go. Body, you can let go. Gentle breath. You're ready, you can open your eyes.
Mm. Mm. Thank you for guiding us to this sacred ground. Mm. Mm. Soon as even before you start to speak, I saw just one of the ancestors like chewing grain,
Mm-hmm.
chewing grain. It was like the gentlest weaving, and this wondrous, almost like spiral round to
Yeah,
access this wondrous space, um,
yeah.
where multiple peoples. It was just like all remembered this space.
Mm.
Mm, I thank you. I thank you. I'm. I trust I will share the tarot decks that we have brought in, the card decks that we have brought in. So, and those who wish to also pull cards in this space, you are welcome to also share what you receive. Mm. Psychic Tarot was the first one by John Holland that kind of just as soon as you asked open your eyes, that was whew, kacham. Okay, we come here first in preparations and deep honor. I love that this card of truth comes up first. I'm like, thank you for laughing. Thank you for bringing in the gentle. Thank you for bringing in the gentle. Since at times, truth does not seem gentle. Truth is the 20 card of the major arcana. There, as a helper, they also may share the word judgment, which sometimes can bring up further fuckery.
Mm.
I feel this almost as a affirmation of what we brought in
Mm.
preparations, what we
Yeah,
even shared in preparing to step into the space together in collective. This kind of like good good works use is kind of coming up. It's not necessarily requiring further message at this time, except one thing I'm receiving for sure is to trust that what is carried into this year, what is carried with you at this time is enough. A lot of times we feel like we need to like gather more tools, more skills, more gifts, more ways, more. I'm just feeling that a lot, right? And with this, and
yeah.
it's like, can you trust? Can you trust that what you carry in your satchel, um, in your awareness of even all that you carry as gifts is enough. And the wondrous kind of traverse, that gentle pace that you welcomed in, is almost like the gentle space and pace of this year to almost give time to chew the grain, give time to chew the things that arise. And it's not about then trusting that it is true. It's neat how it bring up this word of trust and true. It
Yeah.
that truth is the thing that will bring up something within. um may at times feel truth that feels very light, right, resonant, all those words that will kind of ping, 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 wee, yay. We all are excited about that aspect of truth. And then at other times, that truth will bring up the blips, the dips, the aches, um, even potentially further pain that will surface. I'm feeling some that might be surfacing in certain areas of the body. And so just to honor as we move through this, as well as many may move through this, to again, there's almost a thing of just going like in the gentle pace, in the gentle rhythm of things, to when those truths hit, so to speak, to know you can massage, you can shake, you can move away and move back. It does not matter. There is no judgment. There is no judgment. Um, we have been judged enough. We have been judged enough. These are not scales to share further ways of us judging you, so to speak. As you see on the scales depicted and defined here, we do not see what is on the other scale. And I'm sorry, I'm seeing some light shifts here now. We do not see what is on the other scale. We always just know that we have chosen to stand on one side of that scale, and
Mm.
only we get to see what is on that other side. It is not always, it is always not always just a feather. It
Yeah.
is not always just a feather that is being,
Mm.
that you are being weighed by. Do you wish to share anything?
I think the satchel of, what you said, if what you have is enough, and the sense of like the continuing wanting to gather more, and if I just get more, then I'll be enough, and I'll know all the stuff I need to know, that kind of, and I'll be able to handle everything. But you can handle it all. Like you've got it, all the stuff you need to toil over and practice and process, all the stuff, you have it. So continue your practice, continue whatever it is you're building tools of. This is your mastery. You can't master anything. You can't build trust in self if you continue to think you have to keep getting more and more and more, which is really hard, because our understanding of truth is like one thing. It's right or wrong. It's the bad guy and the good guy, and this side of the space outside. Can you like begin to like step not even out into someone else's perspective, but out into like universal perspective? This holding space of like, it doesn't matter, but everything matters. The mattering is because of what value we give to it,
Mm.
which is really hard, because there's so much wrong, and there's so much that's not okay. How do you hold both of that? How do you hold
I love that you bring up the how do you hold question
Yeah.
for when I asked what else, like, do you wish to share? It was neat because there the person here is holding a staff,
Oh yeah. Yes.
and almost like I was receiving this kind of like conductor type of
Yeah.
feeling, like, right, like all that we need to hold is an aspect of us,
Yeah. Yeah.
that be it wood, be it whatever we
Yeah.
may sense that can support us in being aware that our truth is part of like a soup of multiple truths
Yeah.
that we access from what is below us, what is above us, what is. I love that you were like, even go beyond that, even even beyond even what we can perceive of as universe, what we carry as almost, they're now sharing. Sorry, my team sometimes loves energy talk, but like semiconductor. They're like, to be aware that we can be a semiconductor of truths that may start to obliterate exactly what you shared, of like thinking like, okay, one side, the other side, right, wrong. There is much more to be explored, even in that 5-letter word, truth. Truth, yes. So I'm mm, like on top of knowing, believing in your
Yeah.
satchel, and even
Yeah.
if you haven't fully ascertained those things that you're carrying yet, right, like that's the
Yeah.
beauty, is like those things can continue to be chewed upon, this further. There's always going to be more. There's always going to be more
Yeah.
within the simplicity of the things that are carried,
Yeah.
be it however we define those things, be it gift, be
Yeah.
it all the words,
Yeah.
but to just remember, like, as soon as we carry that staff, as soon as we hold on to the awareness that we are of earth, that we are of star, that we are of, that we
Yeah.
support the movements of the waters and the fires, that we are traversing through etheric fluids. I love that you brought in the fluids. Then, right, like, even in me defining what may feel to be true will obviously shift this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And so we can be open to kind of like, sure, we can share all the re's, like the redefinition, or mistranslations, or the disclaimers, or all those beautiful suffixes and
Yeah.
ways that, or prefixes that we share of wording. But to honor that, they're almost sharing like this might be a simplification process, that
Yeah.
just instead of us then having to
Mm.
redefine, bring in more words, more ways,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that that there that we'll find that we can allow a lot of those multiple ways of defining something. We're like, this is all simply coming from this truth. And so, almost like a practice of,
Mm.
yeah, just simplifying the vocabulary, simplifying the ways that we word things out this year,
Yeah.
um to support that dissolution, um or just almost like this blurring, dissolving process that
Yeah.
we are in.
Yeah. There's just, it feels like there's been so much, oh, like breaking down and redefining, and so many more words and so much more language and so much more awareness and so much more I'm seeing of what's happening around. And it's all just like all these pieces, and that simplification of whatever it is, even if you, whatever it is that feels very staffed to you, very clear to you, that helps all the complexity make sense. And now you can always have this thing, yes, that you can define it through, but because you have trust in it and a sense of real grounding in it, it will always help you stay in body. It will always help you to access this thing here. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm totally feeling you. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Like, in the visual of that, and that feels so affirming. And I love that it reminds me of what you brought in of like the confidence required for this year, like,
Yeah.
and that like when we might feel at times even in like unable or incapable or incapacitated or all those other words again, like there's just so many words of
Yeah.
like the simplicity of going at times when we may feel that we cannot, that um we can carry that, we can grasp at that
Yeah.
to support um our filtration process, our cleansing process, uh our conducting process. And sometimes even
Yeah.
that might simply feel like I'm seeing like the beauty of like, because my staff is really tall, so if I'm looking over there, it's because it's like
Yeah.
right there,
Okay.
but it's like feeling that almost like the going right, like if I cannot, then I can hold that and just even allow a little tap into to remind me of something else that I am in tandem with, that I am in
Yeah.
this cesspool of goo with,
Yeah.
that can support my navigation without me feeling that I have to navigate it again alone. um
Yeah.
what card is calling to you?
Is this in regards to
I
preparation?
don't know. That's why I'm curious. I'm like, are we
Like,
still on preparations,
where
or are we
are you?
stepping into invocation by this point? Like, um,
It all feels like preparation to me,
yeah,
which is
almost as if
interesting.
like this is every card carries some
Yeah.
support for preparations,
Yeah.
obviously invoking something in, sharing certain reasonings for our existence and what's something
Yeah.
we kind of need to maintain. I love that. Thank you for bringing that in, because then that allows us to kind of allow what arises within our time commitment and container
Yeah.
today to just flow.
Yeah. That it just feels That's just so important. Just how to prepare for the year, how to prepare for whatever. Um, but oh, that's funny. On what you just shared though of confidence, I just always hear whenever I hear someone say confidence, I'm like, but I'm not confident. But I'm not. Like, what am I supposed to do? And it can feel so overwhelming to hear the sense of like find your confidence. And people do talk a lot of like confidence is protection. Something I
Ooh.
got in my meditation yesterday was that commitment is also protection. And so, like, if
Mm.
you don't feel like you have confidence, you can't commit to a practice. You can commit to your tools. You can commit when you're so overwhelmed. That thing you have, that's your staff, that's taking a bath, you got that. And like to see that other way to always be able to help you come back to you is what is a commitment to something. Yeah.
Mm. And I love that you bring in like commitment as a gentle
Yeah.
aspect of confidence, when commitment at times can also be, of course, so
Yeah.
riling for
Yes.
people to be
Yes.
like, I don't want to freaking commit
Be
to
committed.
something.
Yeah.
And even if that commitment is simply just going, I will breathe, i will
Yeah.
i will commit to ensuring I'm breathing.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
the commitment doesn't have to be something grandiose that
No.
supports. Mm, yeah.
And that builds trust in you.
Yeah.
And that helps you then to have an aspect of something that feels true, that can
Mm.
always be there. Yeah. The two cards I have, I know you say this differently, Josie. I have a Thoth deck. How do
That's
you
okay.
say it?
There's multiple pronunciations. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And the cards that came up were completion and the Prince of Cups.
Oh boy.
A lot of
Completion is
siege
which
right
card? Sorry,
now.
can Okay. Whoa. What number is on the completion card?
That is a
Four.
4.
Four. Wow. And one, two, three. There's 8 spokes in that. Okay. Mm. Wow.
And we also have the Prince of Cups.
Mm.
And I want to get in because I always miss something,
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
you can see what's all in there.
Wow. I'm being nudged even by this that we can take pictures of the cards and I'll pop them in the comment even after if we're
Yeah,
able to do that to support people
yeah,
further seeing them because
yeah,
yeah, there's some quite the number of messages in there, and of course we may not
yeah,
be able to address them all within this live.
yeah,
Mm, wow. What do you wish to share? So completion and the Page of Cups.
yeah.
Mm.
There's an interesting thing I think happening with C's, and I don't quite understand that. Or threes, maybe. Um, like confidence, commitment, completion, cup. It's all very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And the sense of this circular experience that's happening and that's coming into completion, the C that's coming together. Um, something, this all feels like it's very like saying yes to what I got yesterday. That like this year, there is a sense of like with the satchel, you've done enough and you've prepared enough, you've brought it all. This is a year to like, which can feel quite sad, I guess, and disappointing, possibly of things like coming now together
Mm.
into this circle, into this vessel. But that will also take time. Even the thing coming together takes time for it to turn on, for it to activate, for all the things to be perfectly ready. And so this process of this gentle breath, of this gentle movement, especially in the mind, in the body, allowing yourself more so to be kind of guided along, carried along, really supports you coming into having this sense of protection around you and it being able to be as solid, as um, fortified as it can be. All these truths you've gathered, all of these awarenesses you've had that now get to form into a simplified sentence or word or just breath. It becomes so clear, but the only way that happens is through this time being given for it to come together. I think that can feel disappointing, or I
Mm.
feel some disappointment in that because it feels almost like, am I still supposed to be hermiting? Am I still supposed to have some level of solitude? And like the answer is like, yes. Yes. But also, clearly, there are birds here. There are
Mm-hmm.
people communicating, whether of spirit or of or human or animal. There are people here. There are beings here,
Yeah.
and um, they come to support you. It seems like there's a lot of teachers this year, a lot of guides coming in to help people traverse with more ease on their path so that this circle can solidify as best as possible. Like you are being protected and supported in this happening for you.
Mm.
And so much as that being like a preparation, it doesn't feel it feels like a message of if you've been on this practice of trying to go slower or be more gentle or soft with yourself or know know who you are, it's just, it is a continuation. There is no end to that this year.
Mm.
There is a it all coming together. Yeah. That way, when you are ready, which could be in 2024 or a years after,
Mm-hmm.
you're so clear, you're so embodied in your truth. It's like, it's just like breathing. It's just being. It's just being
Mm.
in a way that it never was before, because it was still like all these pieces of you out
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
still. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Oof. Oof. Thank you for bringing in the word completion. Yes, as we're kind of on these C words.
Yeah,
And because yeah, sometimes that word of completion can kind of feel like a finality. Um,
yeah,
or that then does that mean something ends or is done, but then it's like I love how you shared like there's this completion of the
yeah,
formulation that can support you in continuing to move,
yeah,
continuing to be and do all the things that us humans do, but in a circle that also carries animals, plants, other humans, and all these wondrous beings, to I love also that you brought in that there will be many teachers, like this awareness that we all are teachers, we all carry message, we all carry, if we're all carrying something, we all
yeah,
then carry something that we can bring in, to support, almost the well-being of each other. And so in this kind of completion time, um whew, especially with the four card and the eight spokes of that wheel,
yeah,
um there is a reminder that our truth requires an awareness that, we cannot go forward in wholeness, or in a completion wheel that includes multiple message, multiple beings,
yeah,
in an awareness that my truth is my own, and
yeah,
the like I mean, I have to just bring this up, and my dog, thank you for dog for protecting, but we have to almost broaden the awareness that our truth can only be our truth, in awareness that there is more than one
yeah,
in that
yeah,
circle.
yeah,
And if our individual truth brings us still thinking that we're on the island of one,
yeah,
there may be some completion things that will
yeah,
come this year that might
yeah,
bring a little justice, or things to that.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have to step out of that to support these things that almost are sharing, like there are some things that are preordained this year to support the rectification of those things.
yeah,
And I thank you for bringing in the Page of Cups, or the
yeah,
Prince of
yeah,
Cups, to remind us as well, as much as we may feel our regality in
yeah,
connection to our ancestries and the wisdoms and the lineages that we carry and that we are accessing and supporting
yeah,
in sharing
yeah,
our wisdoms, that
yeah,
we still have much to learn. And so may we continue to utilize, utilize our almost like humility with the teachings of water, and what we may carry, but almost like they're sharing is like, just remember, as much as we may carry, even in those sacred objects, as soon as you like dip into the vast sea of waters
Yeah.
that surround the lands and the places that we walk amongst,
Yeah.
um much will be discovered. Drink lots. This is a time to hydrate. This is a time
Yes.
to really like um honor that in the what may feel as the ferocity or the
Mhm.
intensity at times of these completions,
Mhm.
to really learn how to tread
Yeah.
water, and learn from the ways you
Mm.
witness water's grace and almost gentility, back to that gentleness of the process, because
Yeah.
at times we may wish to do it with ferocity,
Yeah.
with match the intensity, and we are that practice of maybe how we have defined it as self-compassion.
Yeah.
We need to even like drop the self and just realize this is another C practice of
Yeah.
compassion of the whole of the many waves that we may share as the individual, as well as what
Yeah.
is um moving this year.
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you for bringing that in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something as soon as you, it seems that water and air
Mm,
and earth are very important this year
mm,
to
mm,
help one, like as you said about the mind, like I keep seeing these bird wings behind my head
mm.
to help the mind to stay light, to stay loose, to stay open, to not just the self, but also that things outside of you wanting to stoke your fire. And there needs to be a container that you're using to support yourself to not be riled up and it becomes untamable because you are, yes, you are, because you are not fully solid in you. You are now constantly being pushed and pulled by outside sources that pull your fire out and move you. And this practice of that solitude, or the time and the slowness, helps you that when you are one with others, you still are one and able to take in others. And or you are not one trying to place yourself all over others.
Mm.
That's what I will say.
Oof.
That's what
Oof.
I say.
I'm giving deep gratitude that we have about 5 minutes left for this
I
message, because
know.
after all that, I'm like, I need to pee, I need to drink some water, I need to like breathe and shake and move. Whoa, whoa. Uh, are we nudged to close in that and continue conversation forwards at another time? Um, or to bring any further things in. I may be at a kind of tipping point.
I think, can I offer one more card from
Please,
Holding Space?
please.
Okay. Um, so this is the
Tend the membranes. What do you need more of, and what do you need less of in order to feel nourished and protected? Thank you for bringing that in.
yeah,
Mm,
yeah, that was
mm,
all.
mm. Beautiful, beautiful, gentle message. Even when you were drawing that card, I was looking at even the chains that carry the circle that this
Yeah.
person is standing on, that we then call a scale, because we see another circle with a
Yeah.
chain, and this, feeling of, as you shared, kind of let your mind grow wings, like freeing your
Yeah.
mind, um, is quite important. But in that process, to tend to,
Yeah.
um, things that might feel very, like, I love the
Yeah.
word membrane, molecular,
Yeah.
to be aware that these things that are coming into completion may be at very, very, things that might feel minute, minuscule. Um, so to the almost the simplicity then of feeling nourished and protected might be as simple as going, I'm going to make sure I pee. I'm going to make
Hmm.
sure that I, drink some extra water right now. It does not have to be big, massive directives and protocols to support you through these things, as you navigate how to voice and sound truths in relations with others, more than you, right?
Yeah.
To like, there will be a, yes, yes, multiple shifts occurring that can nourish and satiate and protect, while also feel like they are doing the exact opposite simultaneously. So
Yeah.
to um honor limits, lean into the limits that may be dissolving, transmuting, shifting, um and honoring, though, that at times those limits are placed for our, again, well-being. um with the more
Mm.
thing that arises, I always come back to, like, the simplest statement from my team in trainings, that I continuously have to bring up and chew on, like, in different ways, which is more is less,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
less is more.
Yeah.
Any I kind of took the lasso from that card.
No, no. All I'm thinking about, I keep coming back to, is your that the last thing you did of 2023 was sessions on tend to your flame. And that all I'm getting is this sense of like taming the flame and like bringing one's attention almost now away from the flame to the body, to the inward innards, to the stuff of you. It's very interesting. Yeah.
Thank you for bringing up flame. We spoke of everything else of what's important, right? And realizing that, yes, almost flame is like the little sparks, the little solar fluff, the little electrical pulses, and if we kind of fuel that, there will naturally feel like there will be imbalance, or
Mm.
disharmony. For tending to our flame or tending to those sparks requires a lot of fluid to kind of embrace and carry those sparks well, without being volatile and disruptive and destructive. Um, and then even within that kind of like water fire mix, there is then, the fluids and the limitations of our perception of those etheric fluids that also support it in movement. So, thank you for, yes, this is not just about stoking our fire. And even what arose in that tending to our flame, was, we didn't work with flame,
Yeah.
like we worked
When
with,
I was there, yeah.
yeah, like we worked with
Yeah.
everything else, but because it's like that's already sparked, that's already there.
Yeah.
So to see how then you can, that in that bringing in whole, I keep on seeing that beautiful wheel that you brought in, to see how many other things are required to support that, so that
Mhm.
from membrane to molecular to all,
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
not, burning out.
Yeah.
I thank you for that. Whew. We have reached our container limit for
Yes.
today. Any last closing words, my dear Alexis? I am in such deep gratitude for this process and practice today. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. This is wonderful. I mean, just to share our process a little bit, we were thought we were going to do many other things today,
So
and this
many.
was it. I think that's quite beautiful what it has been. Yeah.
Agreed, agreed. I feel such a warmth and a nourishment in places that have been also aching in the days in
Mm,
preparation. So I thank you for that. Deep gratitude. I will share Alexis's links, but you are taking a bit of a hiatus on
yes.
tarot personal readings until the spring. So, but those links will be there, and I'll see what else I can share to please like support. As you see, there are multiple teachers this year, and us coming into connections and relations is something very wondrous to support. May you continue, and this is almost a prayer to those that listen, may you continue to traverse what comes from within as well as what comes from within circle, and in relations to be in connection with other gifted individuals and peoples. For it's not that it's coming from a place of lack, of feeling I don't know, i'm I'm silly, like, because wondrous Alexis brings in something different. The beauty in that is that we then can realize we all carry something to the art. We all carry
Yeah.
an aspect of message that then can be interwoven into larger messages this year. So I look forward to further
Yeah.
collaborations, be it with you, be it with additional humans, this year,
Yeah.
to really support that, and us navigating that together. So,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
This is so great.
Yes, yes. May you traverse what else comes through today,
Yeah.
and deep deep love, deep gratitude, honor, respect to the wisdom that you carry. I
Can
thank you.
I
I
share
thank
one
you.
thing?
Yes.
I just want to say, if someone needs to hear it, you can ground back in your body now, and you can come back into form now, and like you can let go of people's hands now, if you need to.
Ah,
That's all.
yes, yes.
Okay.
That the sacred space is there, but yes, now
Yes.
we are I almost felt when as soon as you shared that, like the disbursement of what was woven in the wheat.
Yeah.
So to allow, yes, yes. Ooh, thank you for that. And deep, deep cleansing, clearing of this wondrous circle. For as we disperse in closed circle, then we allow further ingesting and digesting of what was received to move through us from molecular to beyond.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Mwah. See you
Thank
soon.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Much love to you all. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, much love. Bye bye.